On tonight's Fire Island, two star-crossed lovers fight to be together. Or are they really? We'll get into all of it on tonight's episode of Fire Island.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, AfterBuzzers.
Hey. I would say this is my theme song, but then I feel like a little whore. So.
Well, are you ready to go to tea, kids? Because that's what this episode is titled.
Low tea or high tea?
Oh.
Sip that tea.
What's the difference?
All the tea.
I'm still trying to figure out this show. And we're going to get into all of it tonight. With all of us here on the panel, you guys can find me over on Twitter at It's Grant's Rants. And joining me to break down tonight's show.
Hey guys, you can follow me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Nakia Monet, and you can find me on all social media at Kiki Boom Boom.
Hey guys, it's Jesse D'Angelo, and you can keep up with me everywhere at Jesse J. D'Angelo.
So we're here to have some fun for a short time with you guys as we get into all this stuff because there's a lot of sub points and things like that. It all kind of came together in the end as one kind of giant mess. But there's a lot to break down, and we can get into the psychology if you want, or we can just throw a bunch of shade ourselves. So let's do that. Yes.
Let's do that.
Jorge is getting ready for another party. Of course, what could go wrong? And they're going to low tea. Everyone's arriving for the weekend. And Justin has stepped up to take the bags, all the bags from the boys, on some type of cart in the heat, in the humidity in New York, to the house. And everyone else got to drink. You know, what would you do? Would you elect to carry everyone's bag?
This is what I did. First thing I did was I turned to Grant and I said, this is how it would have went down if that was us. I would have said, absolutely not. And I said, you would have ended up doing it, but the camera would have been on you, and it would have been you pulling that thing, cussing under your breath the entire way, and just
and then holding it against you
the
all
entire
weekend. Yes, exactly.
I think like people only do what you allow, and I feel like Justin kind of took on this like mother role, and I'm the most mature one, and he's crazy. There's no way. And if we all know the humidity in New York City, there's no way I'm pulling your bags. But I think I don't know, he complains, but I feel like he likes that whole mothering, I want to take care of everyone, as we've seen later on the episode role.
I don't know. I think I just always have my guard up with people I don't know really well. They take advantage of you. So if you're electing to like literally let me carry your stuff on my back, and it wasn't on his back, but still having to pull that thing, like that's a little much. Because people can now get a hint at you and be like, all right, I'm gonna like lean on this guy for favors. I'm gonna depend on him to do things when they're all just trying to have fun. So I would be like, I would pump the brakes on doing favors.
Yeah, because it wasn't. Meanwhile, everyone was drinking. Like, I'm like, okay,
turning up.
I can see if one of them volunteered, like, you know what? Why don't I just take all the bags and you guys go start it? But for anyone to suggest, like, is there any one person who wants to take the bag? Like, you give someone an inch and they will.
I'm telling
steal
you,
a mile from
take
you.
your
They'll
kindness
take a
for
mile.
weakness. People are crazy. But yeah, I get that. If someone was like, hey, guys, I'll take the bags. You guys go ahead, get my drink ready, meet you there. Like, that would have been
Because that's something I might do if I offered, if it's my idea. But if someone in the group was like, you should probably take all the bags, then like, you should probably wake up from the dream you're in because it's not going to happen.
Exactly.
I get into the psychology of myself when I'm like, oh, they really don't want me there, so they're pawning me off on this. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I would say. That's what I would say. I'd be like, great, this is why I'm here, to serve a purpose of helping everyone else have a good time. Like, that's just, I jump to those conclusions. But that's just what I would do, probably, knowing me. Brandon tells Cheyenne at this high tea that Patrick was really upset that he passed on going to the drag show so he could go work in LA. And then, of course, Cheyenne was like, well, I'm not going to give up work for this. And Cheyenne is officially over Patrick, and when Patrick says that he's over Cheyenne because he analyzed it with Justin later. So, yes.
Those two.
We can get into more of their back and forth and their blowout, if you will. Their house
show's version of a blowout.
Yes.
Right. The dramatic music in the background.
Well, it started to get brewing when Patrick joked in front of the whole house that Cheyenne had a lot of room in his mind, or he had a lot of space in his brain or whatever. And then, of course, Cheyenne took immediate offense to this comment. This is such light baseball to me. I mean, this is so, just, I wouldn't even call that shade.
It's not shade.
No.
Cheyenne was throwing some shade, though, because he was like, I missed this drag show, but did I really miss anything? So I'm like, Cheyenne, you ain't no innocent. And I know he had to get those 30 G's, as he was saying, right?
man.
But
yeah.
I'm like, was it really 30 G's?
Well, then these two have the moment where they square off, and Cheyenne says that he's upset that Patrick keeps coming for him and painting him as a villain. I'm we're like, okay. I'm kind of like, all right. And Patrick says that it's all about him, and he calls Cheyenne selfish, and these two just don't have the personality to ever make it work.
No.
They're two very different people. Perhaps, sometimes I feel like if you're the same person, you can square off and bang heads. But also, if you're just not on the same wavelength, which is, I think, the case here, you're just never going to find that common ground.
Never going to sync up.
And they're both two strong personalities, and they're the type of people like that they would tell someone else off. So I just feel like them two together just would not make a good match. Because like I can see like a Patrick and like a Jorge, because Patrick would dominate that whole relationship. I could see a Cheyenne and Brandon, because Cheyenne would dominate that whole relationship. But the two of them together, it's like, wowzers. Cheyenne and Patrick. I love Patrick.
Me too.
No, I love Patrick because Patrick is so extra, but I just feel like Patrick does so much, but he doesn't realize that he's doing so much. He just wants to show up in his panties and his
It's
cute
just
little
him.
dog. It's just him and his dog, and he's like, "What's up, guys?" And doesn't realize that you're bringing 500 people over. You're doing way too much. People hate you, but Patrick's like, "What's up?"
He's the opposite of me. He's
Love
not,
it.
he's not in his head. He's not thinking about how other people will react to what he's doing. He's
don't
just doing it
care.
for himself.
Which I admire.
Yeah, and I don't think it's out
Yeah.
of disrespect. I just think that he just runs to that beat in his life. Good for him.
Yeah, I
YOLO.
was going to say, I admire that.
Yeah,
For
I wish I
sure.
was more like that,
Honestly, like, he's the one who, if you think about it, he's the one who's making the show, like, entertaining.
He
Like,
is.
he really
Yeah.
is.
Good point.
Unlike some people. Kassan. I'm sorry.
Who?
Kassan.
Who's that?
Oh,
Forgot.
Kassan.
Forgot.
It's so funny because Kassan brought everyone together. He was like the main piece
Yeah.
of the show, but you're kind of losing Kassan on the show.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's just
He
trying to
didn't
play
show
it
up till,
safe.
like, I don't even know what
he
point
had,
it was.
like,
All of a
one-
sudden he walked in the show. I was like, where the hell have you been,
He
Kassan?
had one
Where you at?
confessional, maybe two.
Kassan, where you be at?
Did I? Well, look. Did I miss an apology coming from Cheyenne towards Patrick for missing the
Probably
show?
not.
There was no
I
apology.
doubt it.
No.
Because,
All right,
and
good.
I say this, and again, I don't think this is a bad thing. I just think, I don't think Cheyenne really, I don't want to say doesn't care about these guys, but I just think he's looking at this whole situation realistically. Like, and I feel like he might have said it on our show when he was in. He's like, took this as like an opportunity, you know?
Yeah.
He has a lot of things going on, and he's very realistic. You know, I'm going to see you guys for what? 6, 7 weekends? Like, I've
Right.
only been here for 2, and you guys are putting all this stuff on me. I don't really know you.
Yeah.
And so maybe
I
the
can
show's
see
trying to edit that to be him as the villain, but I just think he's a little indifferent towards it.
Right.
Yeah.
I can see that. I went to an all-girls college. Don't ask me why. Well, my mom was like, because they're giving you the most financial aid, so you have to go. But I knew of a lot of girls that were like Cheyenne, because, you know, you go to all-girls school, girls are like, oh, let's be like besties. And I knew girls that were like, bruh, I just met you a week ago. Like,
Right.
I'm leaving campus to go see my boyfriend or my girlfriend. Like, calm down. And I knew girls who would fight over things like this. Like, oh, you're not talking to me. And the other girl would be like a Cheyenne that's like, we're just here to go to school. I
Yeah.
don't.
Right.
And people would look at that as being the villain, but on the other person's side, they're like, no, I'm just here to be here.
Yeah, I
Leave
think
me
it's
alone.
just a
So I
different-
get
that
that.
was me in college. I was kind of like, I'm here to. I paid a bunch of money to be here. I'm trying to get a
Yeah.
degree. I mean,
Right.
like I had a good
Like,
time.
I just met you guys.
Yeah.
Calm down. So I
But,
can
like,
see where Cheyenne's
Yeah,
coming
like
from.
I always made it, and this was stupid, but I always made it a point to like not do everything with my roommates because I wanted to have like an individual time, and that's I couldn't do this show because you have to appear at all these parties at all hours of the night and you have to be there. But yeah, no, I always kind of did my own thing and stayed in my own lane, so I can kind of relate to that with having other people insert their expectations
Yeah.
on living conditions. I'd be like, all right, you know.
Yeah, I could definitely
Yeah.
relate because I'm in college right now,
Okay.
and like people like get all
Baby.
people get all
Aw.
buddy in class, and it's like that's cool, but like me, I'm like I'm not here to. Sounds horrible.
I'm
I'm not here to make friends.
Yeah, to make friends.
I'm just trying
Okay,
to
New
pass. I
York.
have senioritis. Shout out to Queen New York.
I
Tiffany
love
Pollard.
her.
Yes.
She needs to come to after. But anyways.
Oh, you.
This
I
isn't
got.
Fire Island's best friend.
I have people on notice. If she's anywhere within 100 feet of this building, I'm here.
Yes, New York.
I'm
I
walking
love
out of
her.
work. I'm here.
I miss her on TV.
Yes.
Just saying.
But yeah, I could definitely
Totally.
see where Cheyenne's coming from. I love Patrick and
Yeah.
everything, but yeah.
It's just a difference in viewpoints. I
Yeah,
think. So I
it
can't really
is.
fault
Different
Cheyenne for the
perspectives.
way I just think
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, these guys, we don't know, we haven't heard of anything else they have going on besides this show. And he's got other jobs to do too. So like, I can kind of relate with what you were saying with college. It was like, I had internships in LA and I would go back to school, which was in Orange County, which is an hour away from where we are. And then I would go back there and everyone's still in that same bubble. And I was like, kind of just, I had other things going on. So I wasn't off everyone's ass.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly, because you're not going to be there forever.
No.
And
the truth.
Cheyenne's not going to be on Fire Island until next year.
Cheyenne's trying to get his bag. He's trying to get that money.
That coin.
Yes, Kassan was telling Patrick, and that Cheyenne. No, yeah, Kassan was talking, and he was saying that Patrick and Cheyenne had a screaming argument. They were yelling. It was intense. It was very loud.
When did this
I
happen?
totally
No, this
missed
is
it.
next on.
No, this is. He was saying this to. He was
Oh, no, you're
filling
right.
someone in
the
this part of the
kitchen,
episode.
right? There's
Yeah.
like that
You're
one in
right.
the kitchen.
Gosh.
Yeah, so this is
They're
the response
so
to the
over the
kitchen
top.
fight. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. Have they watched Housewives? Have they watched any of these shows? Like Mob Wives? You want to talk about
love Mob
screaming?
Wives.
Wives. Oh
Watch-
my gosh.
Watch season 2, episode 1 of Flavor of Love. That will change your life. And New York is even
Give
in
me
that
Flavor of Love. Give me Teresa flipping a table.
yeah.
Give me,
That's
you know what I
screaming.
mean? That's screaming.
Joseph Real.
Are you done yet? Are you done yet?
Charm School.
School.
Love and
Oh
Hip
my
Hop
God.
flipping the
And they-
tables.
And they say VH1, like, their reality is, like, on par today. No. It was a celeb reality. Flavor of
A
Love.
decade ago.
There's such
amazing.
an audience for that, too. I just don't understand why they don't try to resurrect
Bring back the
something.
fights.
Oh my God. I love money. Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, I love money.
Well,
in
then that guy had to go
way.
murder
Yeah,
someone,
he
so-
ruined it. He ruined it
Bastard.
for everyone. Yep.
Making multi-millionaire.
Well, someone who's not out to ruin it is Jorge.
Yo, Jorge.
They're getting ready to have this party, and his rule is no dicks out.
I can't take Jorge anymore.
Guys, I just want to point something out. Jorge likes gluten-free pizza, and I like gluten-free pizza.
You love you some
all I'm gonna
Jorge.
Oh,
That
that's
accent.
annoying. I'm like, who's gonna eat this? Oh, we have to get a whole pizza. We have to split this 5 ways so we can eat gluten-free.
Jorge is
Oh, I would pay for that all myself.
No, I don't mean you. I mean Jorge. I pay for you, but I'm not paying for Jorge. So Patrick is more tension at the party. The party prep. Patrick is pouring Svedka, and Cheyenne is not happy with the amount of liquor put in the drink.
Gripping.
Are you
Well, first off,
serious?
why Svedka? Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's like bottom shelf. Like,
It's cheap. Get drunk really fast.
But it's like doable. Like it's not like we're talking Burnett's, you know.
Right.
That was my high school days.
Oh, that was college days. The flavored ones? No, yeah.
I'm still scarred raspberry
Yeah.
flavor. Can't do raspberry.
You
Oh,
can't do
no,
those
no,
anymore.
no.
Yeah. Well, Jalen enters, and Brandon says that he's excited that he's there. And it's like, we all know
sick.
you're not.
Of Brandon. I want Brandon, I want you to listen to me. Where camera am I at? Brandon, I'm sick of you. You want to know why I'm sick of you? Yes, at the beginning you did say that you wanted to have fun, but then like you're 12 because you meet Jalen and you guys are like sharing ice cream and doing the whole Lady and the Tramp thing with your fucking ice cream cones and you're like, "Oh my God, I like you so much." But then, bro, you can't be upset that you're leading someone on. Like, I can totally understand if you stood by what you said when you first walked in the door. When I agree, he just wanted to have fun. But don't be laid up with this cute boy and be like, "I like you so much," and then be upset that he's actually liking you too. And you're like, whoa, you're moving too fast.
I agree.
Sorry.
And
It's my
even if he said that in the beginning, like first episode, and then he's kind of getting wrapped up in a little like, "Oh, I feel something."
Right.
Maybe even then. But as I said earlier to you guys, we started off the episode with him FaceTiming his mom in the city, and he's like, "Yeah, so I met a guy, you know, Jalen. He's 6'8". Like, you don't talk to your mother about.
Okay, you met
That-
on
She
a
was-
weekend.
listen.
You
Yeah,
met him on a weekend.
And she was all excited too. I felt bad for the mom because
You
we
don't-
already knew the episode. He was not going to be with Jalen at the end of the episode. So poor mom, her hopes are crushed. Her heart's broken.
My mom used to always be like, "How come you don't bring any guys home?" I'm like, "That's because they're not important to bring home." Like, I never introduce guys that
Yeah.
was just having fun.
They have
with.
to. They have to mean something.
imagine.
for you.
Exactly.
You know?
So this is why I'm upset at
Yes.
Brandon, because you're telling mom and telling Jalen and it's like you're leading on and then you're like, "I'm gonna tell him how I really feel," and then you don't,
Yeah.
and then you still get upset. I can't. Sorry. I'm
Well,
not
she
Grant.
can't.
That's my rant.
I like it. There
I
you go.
completely agree.
Patrick, he asks Jalen how he feels up towards Brandon, and Jalen says that he would date him. That's where we are here. And Patrick's vibe is totally off with Jalen. He's out with the other guys at the party, and Jalen's watching. At least this is how it's edited. And then Brandon and Cheyenne. Where am I going with this? I'm trying to place. Hold on. So yeah, we're talking about Brandon. So Brandon and Cheyenne. Brandon says that Jalen is talking with other housemates. Cheyenne says that it's because he is talking about Brandon. It's supposed to be like a nice thing. Oh, he's talking about you.
And Cheyenne's usually pretty dead on with this kind of stuff, I feel like, but he just had no idea. He's like, no, like I think he meant it like, oh, it's a good thing. Like he cares about you, so he wants to talk to your housemates. He wants to make it look like he's putting in the effort. I'm like, oh no.
No, that's not what's happening, Cheyenne.
He
I
wants
don't think
advice
he's
on what the
giving it
hell
that
to
much
do.
thought.
I feel like Brandon was just trying to make Jalen look bad because he obviously he doesn't want to be with Jalen at the end of the day. And like, I can't stand Brandon anymore. I'm sorry. You're 21. You look like 30. I'm sorry.
Oh,
like
shade.
you're still cute, but you like
I don't know about 30. Like, how old do I look then? Jesus.
Well,
Christ.
I'm 24. He's 21 at this age. Like, we need to switch ages or something.
I think it's his beard. He has like the manly beard thing going on.
His demeanor seems more mature, which I'll
Right.
give him.
He comes off mature,
like
but then when you,
him.
like you said, when you get to really know him, his age comes out a little bit.
And I just feel like Brandon, he's kind of coming up with the whole millennial, like we're in this age of ghosting people, and like I'm like no, don't follow the
Yeah.
same path of the people.
This is
like,
why
That's
people
true.
get stabbed.
Not everyone. Yeah,
Or
not
unsnapped.
everyone. Yeah,
I feel
not
like we can
everyone.
all relate to this situation.
Yeah, and he has to learn like not everyone is disposable. But
Yeah.
And you can't ghost
And
someone
just-
when you're 5 feet away.
And
from
like
them.
that doesn't happen
Just
at
be-
the party.
Yeah, just be upfront. That's all.
You can't ghost him when he's the closest person to you on Grindr. Okay.
Seriously.
He's right there.
You're like, who am I connecting with? Oh, Jalen, he's right there. Has that ever happened to any of you guys? Like, you go to a party or any place and you see someone either you were talking to or dating, and the person or the guy's like, never mind.
No, this past semester I had 2 guys who like I matched with. Like, I was like, no, and like we never said anything. Like, and it was really.
I hate that.
yeah.
Do a
And,
whole
like-
show on people not talking after they match.
Oh,
Right, that's a pet peeve of mine. People
Annoying.
People pretending they don't know who you are. Like that would happen to you. That was like the culture where I grew up too. It's like if you didn't have a class with someone in high school for like a year, then you could easily walk by them and pretend you don't know who they
oh
were.
man, that's
It was
crazy.
just, yeah, that's
hate
how I
that.
grew up. And then I came to LA and it was the same thing. So I don't know any different.
Welcome
You
to
know
LA.
what I mean? Yeah, it's like, oh, if you haven't been in touch with someone, or you haven't texted someone in a while, it's easy just to pretend that they're not there.
That's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
But that's how I don't know any different. I mean, I don't do that really, but I mean, if the other person isn't going to give you the time of day, you can do it
Right.
once or twice, and then after that, if you no longer know one another, and then you're still Facebook friends. So
And you-
stupid.
You like each other's stuff. I mean,
yeah. Only,
Like your
only a
photo,
liker.
and you just text them, and they're like, "Oh God, I'm not gonna text them."
yeah.
Like, hey, I seen you like my photo. Red.
Leave
Well,
your ass on red.
we'll go back to Brandon in a moment, but Kassan and Justin had a one-on-one on the beach. And Justin, as fast as this show moves,
Where the hell did Cassandra come from?
Wait. Oh yeah.
we learned that Justin had a dark past, and
yeah.
he had suffered a bad breakup and a job loss, and all kind of compounded. And then he said he found out he may have colon cancer. This is in the past, and that he had suicidal tendencies, and it's really heavy real quick. And this is after he's running through the water naked on the beach. I mean, he's living his full life, I guess.
And this is my issue. I think moments like this are really important because communities like the LGBT community face such a much higher percentage of, suicide rate, and the fact that he had said he attempted suicide. I think that's an important moment. So I wish there was, like, we all spoke about it when we were watching. I wish there was more of a lead-in, because I was saying this is a moment that I would have been very emotional over, but I couldn't get there because we go from him having this great moment frolicking in the ocean naked, and then we cut right to this clearly producer prompted moment because Kassan comes out for the second and I think final time in the episode, and he's just like, we've never had a one-on-one. Go.
That was it.
I was too focused on that.
And the setup for that was that, I got a new Speedo. I'm gonna wear it the first night or the first time at Fire Island, and I was like, good for you. But then I was not expecting.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
tough.
His dark past.
Yeah.
and it just did not flow.
Yeah, I wish they would have had it set up differently because I felt like so many viewers could have connected with that and could have related. They were like sitting down having lunch or walking, and it was, I don't know, a different lead up to what was happening. that night, and Kassan with his towel that a producer clearly gave him.
The episode was pieced like drama, and then we have this backstory, but we're going back to drama.
Yeah.
So it was just like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
that's like the most real. That was the most real moment of the series. I mean, so many people. It doesn't matter what your orientation, but people wonder if they will ever be happy in life. And when they're down and they've suffered loss after loss and they have to reinvent. Everyone has the not suicidal thoughts, but thoughts in their mind that are like, where am I going here? And that's relatable to anyone. That was the most real moment. But instead, we have to keep going back to Jorge's upset that Chef Brandon is back in the picture.
Oh God,
Shady Brandon.
I'm glad Shady Brandon's gone.
He's upset.
He's back because we can drag him.
Let's drag Shady
God.
Brandon.
And we're gonna drag Jorge.
I love how
too.
Jorge tried to get to the bottom of Shady Brandon and Patrick.
Jorge's gonna get clocked. Just wait. Just wait.
Jorge's back texting Fabio. What did you think? What did you think of that moment?
I can't take Jorge. Like when Jorge speaks, it's not even his accent. It's just he's so. I can't take him anymore. He means well.
At least he wasn't shaking.
He wasn't
He's in control of the emotions tonight.
He means well, and I feel bad for this kid because like Fabio is clearly ignoring him again, and he's reading his. That's like the worst if someone reads your messages. They're like, oh, I'm not gonna answer. So I feel like because of this, he's like meddling, and he tried to get to the bottom of like Shady Brandon and Patrick's relationship, and he's like, how could Patrick lie to us like this? I'm like, no, Patrick probably
He
was
was
just
projecting,
Yeah, he probably was just hooking up with a guy and was like, this is a guy that I like, and we're kind of dating, and I don't think he lied to anybody.
Yeah, and where I want to clock Jorge was, I know this is jumping ahead, but then he was getting after Justin, I believe, for getting in the business with Jalen and Brandon. And I'm like, you were just getting in the business with Brandon number 2 and Patrick. So Jorge, have several seats, mister. So I can't with Jorge or Brandon in this episode.
Jorge and Brandon, we're coming for you this episode.
So the other Patrick came, like we alluded to. Patrick came to the steps in his like in the tiniest pair of bathing suit bottoms I've ever seen.
Patrick.
Each episode they get tinier and tinier.
I mean, these were like literally just like the little briefs, like the
clearly,
Andrew Christian.
I've seen
like
his
the
print.
briefs where
I mean, I'm not complaining, honestly. But
He looks great.
Yeah. No, but it's
Patrick
funny.
looks
I mean, he's just doing his own thing, and it's like at this point it must be like 5 a.m. and he's just walking around with that dog, like nothing's wrong.
I know that dog is
so
what
cute.
is that dog on purpose? Like,
Bodhi's getting a lot of screen time.
Yeah.
Brody's so cute, but that's why I love Patrick, because Patrick literally does not care. He just has a lot of fun.
Yeah,
He's living YOLO. He lives at Fire Island, so he's like, I don't care. Like, you guys are being dramatic. I'm just here to have the fun. Like,
And he didn't care when Jorge told him, by the way, he doesn't think, this other guy doesn't think you were together. Oh, yeah, no, we weren't. I'm like, oh, okay.
he's like, it is what it is. I'm like, whoa,
but
okay.
It was a little sad because I think I can relate to Patrick's situation because, Patrick's.
What happened with Patrick's situation was
Because it's sad because I personally have been in that position where like you're in denial about this person. You're with this person, but you're not official. And you at the end of the day, you want that title. And, he never got that title. So I love Patrick, and I can sympathize with him.
Yeah. And Patrick probably sees all his boys in relationships and stuff. And he's probably like, they all have boos, and, I have a little boo, but Shady Brandon's like, actually.
I thought Shady Brandon and Jorge were going to get up together. And I was like,
yeah.
okay.
I don't know.
But no.
To me, I got the vibe from Patrick though that they weren't ever really anything. Like I don't even know if that was something that he viewed as serious and maybe
he was honest about it though.
Yeah,
I
he
think
was.
It was just,
say?
and like you
Did I
said,
miss it?
I've been in that situation too. Like I feel like I've been in situations before that I've put more stock in it than the other person is, and unrightfully so. Where I don't know, just in my head, like, oh, maybe this could be something, so I'm taking it for more than it is. The other person is not thinking the same about me at all.
Yeah, and you're like lying yourself as much as you want it to be like real. It's not real, and it sucks so
slap
much.
out of it.
Yeah,
Man.
and that's why you gotta snatch Brandon up too.
So at some other point in the night, I don't want this. Might as well be like 7:30 in the morning. at this
All in
point.
one night.
Yeah.
Do they ever sleep?
Jalen and Brandon are under some knit
Lord.
blanket in a tight shot, and
That was cute.
It was
No, it
adorable.
wasn't.
It was adorable. And Jalen's super tall, and he's like looking down. It was cute.
It was a nice fit if they were on the same page.
Yes.
Exactly. That's why I can't get behind it.
Yes.
I can't because
Well, that's
Brandon.
it. He's sending all these messages to Jalen, and I don't know. To me, I could relate in the sense of he just doesn't know what he wants, so he's just like pushing and pulling. But I think he does know what he wants.
Right.
What he wants in this case, and he's saying the opposite. And that was called out the next day. He's not being honest.
Yeah.
And he's stringing that guy along, and that's never gonna go well.
I'm happy Cheyenne kind of called him out jokingly. He's like, so you were drinking, so you said the opposite of what you were really feeling.
Right.
Because you went, he was like, oh, I'm going to say how I feel. I'm going to let him know. And then didn't say anything. He was like tiptoeing around the conversation.
Is it better though to let someone down that way and hopefully they pick up on the message, or should you just be straight up and direct?
I'd rather you just straight up, I'm a big
Exactly.
girl, I'll get over it later. Like, I'd rather you, or the same thing with me. I've told people straight up, like, at times, this isn't working because out of respect, I don't want to string you along and where you're assuming and where you're thinking.
Yeah.
The reason I say this, all girls college, I went through the situation where all girls college had a bunch of friends, and there were people who I was friends with, and there was a girl who I thought we were still friends. I'm like, hey girl, good morning. See her walking down the path. Hey, and she wasn't speaking to me. One of my friends had to pull me aside and be like, she doesn't really like you. Bro, tell me. I'd rather you do that so I know not to ever speak to you ever again. So that's why for me, going forward, I tell people what it is straight up. Like, look, this is not what it is. This is why people end up on the show Snapped. This is why people get killed. I just feel like you cannot play with people's emotions like that because you don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
So I just wish they were on the same page because they make a cute couple.
No.
No.
What do you want to say over there?
No, I was just gonna say I have an issue. I have an issue, and it's my own stuff with being direct because I don't like being the person that hurts someone in any way. But then again, it's like it's not about me. Like you need to do what's best for the other person if you really care about them. So that's something I'm trying to work on. And the first time I did it, which was like last year, I had a date that I was really clicking with the person, but not in any way more than like a friendship. And I was like, no, like get over yourself. Like you have to be direct with them. Don't like tiptoe around it. And I was directing it to no response. Like it was just like silence. And I was like, but at least I did it once. So now I know like, even if they hate me for it, like at least I was honest and I can stand behind that.
I like to think that I have a good way with words with people, and I mean, to me, I've always come up looking like the total asshole who strung someone along by being upfront and like ripping the Band-Aid off, and never in a mean way. I mean, like we're done. Like I've never said this, you know what I mean?
Right.
Also, I mean, I've always been the bad guy by not tiptoeing around it because there's so much insecurity with you have to be so careful with you don't even know who you're talking to sometimes. But also, like, I realized early on in general, this is even with like roommates, like not even necessarily relationships, I learned that people do not take hints. You can complain about things, you can say what your preferences are or an ideal type of relationship, and you can see that this relationship clearly isn't that, and they don't take the message. They don't internalize
I think some people do get it, and some people are just assholes, and they'll try to see how far they can go. Like, I feel like once you give people enough hints, they'll get it, but they're like, well, if they're not saying anything, I'm just going to keep... That's if they're an asshole, though.
Or they'll get it, but they're too afraid to be upfront about getting the whole message about, So
people are just crazy.
It's a horrible cycle.
I just want Brandon to just sit down. Just sit down for a minute.
Well, he was sitting down on that one new dude.
Ooh, with the big arms.
the next day.
Jalen was still cuter, though. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Cheyenne says that he saw Jalen leave upset. And apparently there's been multiple men in and out of the bed, and Cheyenne can't sleep.
Why
Poor
is this, Why is
Cheyenne.
this not on camera, I wonder? Like, why are these interesting moments that are caught?
Yeah, like night vision, like camera in the
Real world
corner.
style.
Yeah,
It's
night vision, real world style. Like, I want to see poor Cheyenne with his blanket and pillow try to walk into his room, and then Brandon's in there with another guy. Cheyenne's like, what the fuck?
It just, like, I was telling you guys, like, before we started the show, that it just seems too censored at times.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to see more.
The only thing I can think of is it must be budgets, because those overnight shows, when there are the cameras installed in the house and all that, there's got to be a story producer on hand, there's got to be a crew, there's got to be a PA, then, there's a whole thing. So if they're only allotted with, the way these unions work, with so many hours of, this is all logistics, but that's, if it's a low budget show, that's the problem, We don't know the budget of the show. I'm not shading it, but I'm just saying it's a little different.
And it's a new show, so hopefully going forward, they'll take all this.
Keep watching us, I guess. Well, so Brandon is turned off at this point by Jalen. What did the guy do? You know, he really didn't do anything horrible, but
Not
he's
a
totally
damn
turned
thing.
off. Like you said, Oliver, on the lap, and then Jalen walks in, and they say, Jalen, how you doing? How you feeling about this? He's like, oh, I'm great. I'm great.
People forget that Jalen's Patrick's boy, so
We all did. We were all like,
did.
I
I know
totally
we turned to you and you were
did.
like, guys, they
that's
were
his
friends.
friend. And I forgot for 1 second. I was like, wait, no, met because Patrick brought his 20 friends over, his and Jalen happened to be in
Maybe
that
one of
group. So unfortunately for Brandon, Jalen's probably gonna be around a lot because that's Patrick's boy, one of his many friends.
I would go.
I was just gonna say, you know what
Okay.
it is? People love the chase, and so I think for Brandon, and I'm obviously guilty. I think everyone's a little guilty of this. And when Brandon first, was feeling Jalen when they were eating the ice cream, I think it was like, oh, like he was diving in way too soon because we were all like, you are just like letting it all go, and he's like, oh, like I really like spending time with you. But as soon as Jalen said that he felt the same way, it's like, oh. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it is. It's almost like you don't want to hear that back. Because then you're like, oh, well, I know I can get it, so. Bye.
Yeah.
It relates to that whole, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And then like,
Yeah.
is it? I don't know. At least with relationships.
I don't know if you have a fear of commitment though, or if you
Yeah.
feel something and then they admit something and then you're like, that's the threshold. And
Yeah.
with me in my own life, I have never crossed that threshold because I'm like, I do not want a commitment. I know it's not gonna work, so I don't do that.
Right.
But that is a conscious decision that you have to make. You really have to be ready for something like that. And he isn't ready. He's young. He's
a baby.
Yeah, he isn't ready.
I was so upset I was choking. Brandon made me so upset.
Oh, Brandon, see what you're
choking
doing
the
over
life
here
out
at
of you right
AfterBuzz
now.
TV.
Choking the life out of me. God damn you, Brandon.
Oh.
See?
Well, Brandon, this is where I lost Brandon at this point in the episode because I was cool with him. I was understanding him and the lack of commitment, and I was actually behind him up until this point, until Justin had a conversation with him, and he was like, "Oh, like the mother comment," but also he said that Justin's concern is just about his own insecurity and jealousy.
I'm like, Brandon, calm down.
Yeah.
But he's 21.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that comment.
Yeah.
It's such a lousy thing to say. Oh, they're jealous of me.
Yeah.
It was an ignorant comment. You don't know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
When Justin's like in a happy relationship.
Like, I'm not jealous
No,
of
that's
you.
true, yeah.
As a friend, I'm trying to look out for you and kind of be a big brother. But,
Yeah.
you
give
know,
good karma.
Brandon's a baby. He's 21, and he's probably never had anyone. He's probably had so many people talk to him that way. So to him, he's like, oh, you're being like a mom. Don't talk to me. But instead of him looking at it like, this is actually my friend who's actually telling me the truth, because everyone else is tiptoeing around. Like, Cheyenne will play around with it. But Justin's like, look, you're doing way too much. And he's like, you're jealous. No, it's not jealous of you, love. Like, you're a baby.
Yeah.
I'm a grown man.
Yeah.
And Justin was talking to Jalen more than Brandon was, so he's just letting him know
Yeah.
as a courtesy, you're not on the same page.
Yeah.
Don't string him along.
Right.
Keep it moving.
Damn, I would never string someone along that looked like Jalen. I'm sorry. Like Jalen.
Again, he's young, he's on Fire Island. Like, please, hoe it up. I would
Have
be doing
fun.
the same thing, but just maybe be honest. That's all
Yeah,
I'm
like I totally. That's
No
why
shame.
when I first met Brandon, when we first meet Brandon, when I first met Brandon, I loved him because he was so open and he's like, I'm on Fire Island. I'm like, yes, have fun. But now I'm like, bruh, don't mix all this in. And even if you do like someone, just be upfront and be like, you know what? I like you, but I still want to have fun. Maybe we can date. Let's see where this goes. That's what I would respect more from Brandon. Because I did like him. I like that he was so open and wanted to get it on.
Yeah.
I feel like I gotta give him a cut though, because there's all partying throughout this whole show, so he's not exactly stone cold sober to make these decisions. You know what I mean? So I feel like I gotta give him a little bit of a break. I mean, if someone followed us around West Hollywood, I mean, I don't have anything going on, but I'm just saying, like, I'm sure we've all not had the most clear judgment at certain times when we go out. And if you're on vacation, all that is out the window. When I'm on medical vacation, who the hell cares? You know what I mean? But I don't mean I do. I don't mean believe me.
If you're being
that does
filmed,
not
yeah.
happen. But yeah, no. But I mean, as far as having cameras on, like, I like to just relax, not have to worry about everything that's on my mouth. That's why I think I even mentioned that when Cheyenne was in the studio. Like, did you ever? Yeah, I did. Did you ever feel like you had to kind of tone it down, like you weren't going to drink as much as you normally would because there's a crew there? I think that is like something that I definitely would be in my head about, of course, because like my mom was gonna see this for Christ's sake.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Patrick doesn't care.
So-
That's why I love him.
Oh, Patrick, she's calling up his mother to show her real time.
Yes, which I love. His parents are like,
Yes. Well, let's take a moment and predict what's coming up on the next episode.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
I didn't see that coming. Prediction.
So Jalen is coming to dinner again.
Yeah.
I predict that Jorge's gonna cry again.
Oh, he already is. In fact, I wrote Jorge.
my God.
I'm not even kidding. I wrote Jorge cries ... again.
But why? I don't understand.
He can't handle the confrontation, guys.
But
The
it's not
dinner-
about him.
I know it's true. It isn't.
I know Jorge.
He doesn't
And-
deserve it.
You deserve Jorge.
I'll play it.
You and Jorge need to be together. No, I just feel like Jalen's gonna come back, and we do see a little bit in the previews. We do see a big blow between Cheyenne and Patrick.
Big.
There was
A big blow up.
There was another blow up too. Was it Brandon and Patrick or Brandon and Cheyenne? I could have swore they were like.
Yeah, I seen someone.
doing
Yeah, something's
Because it wasn't just Cheyenne and Patrick. Which is
It's Brandon is someone.
Yeah.
I think next week's gonna be a really good episode.
I hope so.
Cheyenne is the biggest drama queen on the show, though. Everything he turns things into something.
No,
Everything.
Jorge is.
Jorge.
Well,
he is.
He is. I'm thinking about overall. He is at his reactions, but as far as creating drama, it's all.
Cheyenne
coming
has
from
been in a
Cheyenne.
few.
Yeah.
He's been in it with Justin and then Patrick. But I feel like Jorge's
more emotional. Like
My
you know.
goodness.
This one over here, you
can't.
and Jorge, you just can't
Every time
go-
he talks, I just laugh. I'm like, someone give him a hug. I like Jorge, but it's just when he talks, I
He's
just
very
feel like a violin
impassioned.
should be
Yes.
playing. He is very passionate, and he's
Yes.
like Latino, and he's very passionate, which I love that about him. But it's at certain times, I'm like,
Well, I totally get it. You know why? Because he's a little over the top, and very passionate, and the topics are just not that worth emoting.
that's why I think.
You know what I mean? That's what it is.
And I'm like, Jorge, calm down,
what-
honey.
Story 101. What are the stakes here? You know what I mean? Like, they're very,
Yes.
there really aren't any stakes. It's like, who's going to high tea and then who's sleeping with who. And then, so it's like, there's no need to get so out of control.
Right.
It's getting so upset. I mean, texting Fabio, like, so nervous. Like,
Oh man, I just feel like next week there's gonna be some beefs and Jorge will probably cry.
Yes.
Kassan will
He
go
needs-
missing.
yeah. He just needs to get another
Huge.
mistress. Or
Yeah, he needs
snuggle up with Kassan because Kassan needs a storyline. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
him and Kassan need to get it on.
Speaking of mistress, Lawrence was in our chat tonight, and he said that Jorge is pushing some merch on the gram, and he said he has mistress tea that he's selling.
Oh yes, Jorge, you better sell those
sell,
teas.
sell it while it's hot.
Is Fabio
Yeah.
okay with that? I want to know.
Get those coins,
Fabio.
Jorge. Jorge's getting that money.
yes.
All these guys.
Shout out to the chat.
Yes. Well, where can we find you lovely people? Should we want to follow you online?
Should you choose to do so, you guys can follow me everywhere at Jesse J. D'Angelo. Thanks, guys.
Sorry for choking earlier, but you guys
was Brandon.
can write me. Brandon got me choking. You guys can hit me up at Kiki Boom Boom on all social media.
Yes, guys, and you can dish and spill some tea with me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer.
And I won't be here next week, but we'll be for more coming up. Yeah, so I just figured I shout that out for whatever reason. I don't know why. You guys can find me on my podcast at Grant's Rants Hollywood Talk and on all social media platforms at It's Grant's Rants. We'll be back with more going down on Fire Island.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you
Later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.